Hello, welcome to another video by You Plant Tube channel. Growing lettuce in pots, is it worth the time and the effort? In this video, we will be using last year's lettuce that had gone to seed, using the self-germinated lettuce and transplanting them into pots, to grow them again but in pots and see how many times we can harvest lettuce before they are unusable. I find the polystyrene cups ideal for this type of project. Several days later, we can see that the lettuce is starting to grow and develop quite nicely. At this stage, we're going to transplant them into a larger pot. This will be their final destination. Fill the pot halfway with some good potting soil. So unfortunately, this plant has a small infestation of aphids. They can easily be removed by using a spray bottle mixed with a teaspoon of washing up liquid and a liter of water. Spray the lettuce thoroughly will kill all the aphids. By placing your two fingers in between the lettuce and giving it a small tap on the bottom end of the cup will remove the plant from its container. Now refill the new pot with some new potting soil. Now don't forget to water all of your plants once you have finished transplanting. There are obviously some advantages when growing in containers. They can easily be moved around to a suitable area when the climate conditions are not ideal. Also, with a little bit of DIY, they can be situated in small unused areas if you have limited space. 55 days later, and as you can see, they have turned out quite well. The lettuce seems to be ready for harvesting right now, but I'm kind of busy, so I'll give them another week. These lettuce plants need to be watered daily at this stage as the roots are now quite demanding on water. It is quite easy to examine one of these containers to see if the roots are root bound. As the root takes over the interior space of the container, little room is left for the soil to hold water, which may lead to root death. Allowing the root-bound plant to continue growing in this fashion will only stunt the plant growth, but can also bring about the plant's overall demise. Will lettuce regrow after cutting? Let's perform a little experiment. Here I will use two of my lettuce plants and directly cut them across in this fashion as shown in the video. While with the rest of the other plants, I will pinch off some of the leaves around the outer edges of the plant. So how long will they take to regrow? And if so, we will find out. So we can consider this to be the first harvest. Most lettuce can be harvested between 30 to 70 days after planting. A week later, and they haven't grown to the point that they can be harvested. As can be seen, here I am pinching off the outer leaves and leaving the inner leaves intact. Obviously, this is a different method from the previous harvesting. A week has gone by from the previous harvest and they haven't really grown. But what about this method? Will they regrow? This can be considered as the second harvest. Lettuce prefers a consistently moist, damp soil due to its shallow roots. Without enough water, lettuce develops a bitter flavor. Keep your lettuce happy by following a consistently watering schedule. Although lettuce grows faster in the sun, it is one of those few vegetables that tolerates some shade. In fact, a spring crop often lasts longer in the shade from the afternoon sun as the season warms, giving lettuce fertile, well-drained, moist soil with plenty of rich organic matter and a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. Another week has gone by. This can be considered as the third harvest. Lettuce is mostly often used in salads, although it is also seen in other kinds of foods such as soup, sandwiches and wraps. It can also be grilled. Two weeks have gone by since we last cut this lettuce, and they don't seem to be growing as well as the other method. 2 weeks was more than enough for this lettuce to grow back, so I wouldn't recommend cutting your lettuce using the first method. This can be considered as the fourth harvest. My conclusion, I grew more lettuce than I could consume. Once the lettuce was ready for harvesting, I needed to harvest every weekend for roughly about a month. Also, they needed watering on a daily basis. After 117 days, I uprooted half of these plants and left the others for seed. 122 days have gone by and some of these lettuce plants are starting to flower. And of course, this lettuce is not edible. I'm sure it's quite bitter now. Been growing lettuce for several years now. Perhaps I can interest you in some of my other videos. If you liked this video, then subscribe to this channel because I have lots of more interesting videos on their way, such as dragon fruit, goji berries, and many more other vegetables and interesting fruit. Feel free to ask me any questions related to the video in the comment section below. I hope you have found this video of interest and consider subscribing if you have not already done so. Also, I would appreciate if you hit that like button. Thanks for watching.